Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Comic Book Weekly. We actually have a full cast. We're all finally back. I'm Chris, Dark Avenger C86. Next to me is Kat Comic Uno.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Below me is Mike, Spider Slayer Comic Book Corner 2.0.
Evening to you.
Over Kat, next to me is Brad, Last Ember Press.
What's up, everybody?
And then diagonal from me is Mike, Dude of Rock 18. What's up, everyone? And we have a lot to talk about this week. A lot of people talk about DC FanDome, Batman, comic books, everything. I'm going to turn it over to Kat, and we're going to get into the news. You're muted.
We are. And like Chris said, we have a lot of news this week. So let's get started. We're starting out really great. And we are going to get into some comic news first. So first up, we have Zero Year gets a second volume. So it looks like they're kind of doing the Image Comics style, taking a break, releasing a new volume. Actually, they're calling this volume 2. Maybe they're going back to issue 1. That'll be interesting. I don't know. But for the Year Zero fans, what do you think?
I'm looking forward to it. I like the first volume of Year Zero a lot, and we didn't even finish Year Zero completely yet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was kind of wondering what AWA was actually going to do with their books because they're all limited series. So you're kind of like, is the story truly over at the end of issue 6, or what's going to happen going forward? And I think this is an awesome thing because it just means that people are actually... That's funny.
On your microphone, $10.
And just for unmuting a microphone, I'm going to mute my microphone more
I'm
often.
telling you, right?
No, you're not gonna...
I'm muting it all the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, I think, like I said, we're kind of not sure what's going to happen with AWA and their continuing books. So it looks like Kat said, they'll be doing it in volumes. This is good because this is a new company and it shows that people are reading their books and they're really enjoying their books. And from what people have been reading and telling me also, like they've really enjoyed it too. So if you guys haven't tried AWA, go out there and give them a try.
All right, well, let's get into the next thing, which is Comixology originals to be printed through Dark Horse. I thought this was really interesting. Dark Horse lost a lot with the Predators and Alien Marvel thing, so it's nice that Dark Horse is getting something else. And also Comixology, obviously digital comics, that's what their whole thing is. So I think it's great that, the opposite's happening what we've been seeing, right? With DC Comics kind of going digital, and we'll talk about that with Static Shock. Now we're seeing a digital company go printed and show maybe we could share the love and hopefully rediscover these comics. Because honestly, I've only read, I think, one issue from their original stuff, and I'm sure there's a lot of great books. So I'm hoping all of us could discover some new titles that way.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a couple of them that I've read a few issues of. Like Youth, I think, is one of them that they're going to publish, and I've read at least 2 or 3 issues of that. They get some good stuff, and it's from a mix of both known creators and up-and-coming creators, so that's the kind of cool thing too. So you're getting some different kind of stories from creators and you're hearing some new voices.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100% on that. I think it's a great idea.
All right, well, let's get into this is something that Chris was desperate to talk about, and that is the new Fortnite comic written by Donny Cates, mixing Desperate. You were desperate. There's one news piece that is the biggest news piece that Chris was not desperate to talk about.
This is the biggest piece.
This is the biggest news
piece. Especially because this past season of Fortnite, which is the only DC Comics season, is the worst so far. The one before that, Deadpool, was popular. Now we're going back to Marvel. So there's a comic they threw into the game recently, and they actually took a scene from the Thor series where Thor was going off to warn future worlds that Galactus was coming. And then they actually made a story specifically for Fortnite where Thor shows up on the planet. He tries to warn everybody that Galactus is coming. Apparently, the Fortnite world is next. Something happens. He loses the hammer and he loses his memory. So everybody's predicting that Thor is going to be a season pass character. And he, throughout the whole season, is going to start remembering who he is. And then the season's going to end with Galactus consuming the Fortnite world or attacking. So I love it. I think it's great because I've read the entire first arc of Thor, and I love how they're like injecting this in the middle of that first arc. And I love that Marvel characters, there's a rumor that there's going to be Wolverine. There's going to be a lot of characters that are going to be skins that are going to be offered throughout the next season of Fortnite, which is really cool. I like that Marvel really took the reins with Fortnite, where DC just gave us Aquaman and Black Manta and Batman and Catwoman. Batman and Catwoman being a few years ago.
I like this news too, Chris, because my son was like, yeah, I think I found a comic book in Fortnite. And I'm like, for real? And he's like, yeah. He's like, the next season is going to be Thor. I'm like, really? And then he shows me the comic.
I know,
and it is.
Art.
It's written by Donnie Cates, obviously. And then the artwork in that book is done by Greg Land. So that's who did the artwork in that particular issue of it. And so he's like, I want to know more about Thor. And I'm like, here you go. Here's the first 6 issues. And he read all of them today in like an hour, all 6 of them, because he wanted to know about Thor and how it was going to affect Fortnite and how the whole story ties in and everything. And I think this is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? We've always had video games and comic books crossover, but when you do it like this is how you get people into, this medium, because this is a very current story. Yeah. This is happening right now. And it's like, this gets people on board. This might get people interested in the comics that's going on right now.
And I'm glad you said that, because my friend James was asking me, is this what's really happening in Thor right now, where he's the Herald and stuff? I'm like, yeah, it's the whole first arc. You can get the trade, or you can go get the first couple of issues. He's like, really? I'm going to go to my comic shop and pick up the first arc because this looks really cool. So it's like you said, it sells both ways. Fortnite makes money, and Marvel gets their books out there to possible new readers. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And also just from gameplay mechanics, the way that they are able to incorporate that kind of stuff, it's kind of cool. I can imagine like when this hits the apex, that it's going to be like those tendrils coming down where he puts them into the planet to suck. So you'll see those everywhere, and the ground will be broken up and that kind of thing. So that's going to be cool. Just, to kind of walk around and see that in the game too. So.
No, absolutely. That's going to be
cool all around.
All right, and we are going into our big news piece for our show, which is what it's named after. DC will be relaunching Milestone, which we knew about, but it does have a release date of 2021. And Static Shock will be getting a book, but it's going to be digital first, which I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, we've been talking about the DC digital first stuff, and I understand that Static Shock, the previous volume, didn't do great. It was the New 52 volume. It was one of the first books that get canceled. But I think if you want to share the love for Static, you got to bring it printed. And I don't know if I'll read it until it is printed. It has to be a really, really important, well, not important, but a big character for me in my fandom to go out to get these digital chapters. And I do really love Static Shock, but I don't think I could handle the chapters. I really don't like that style. It's just too little information and too little real estate, honestly. So I really hope we can get a printed book, because I want Static Shock and Milestone in general to have a big name and get a big return. But doing just digital, it doesn't feel like they're really doing that big return we want. And I honestly talked about this before, where I was fearful that diversity wouldn't get as much of a spotlight because of this whole digital stuff. And I feel like we're seeing that already. This should be as big as Three Jokers and all the rest, and get a big printed issue 1. And we're not getting that. And I think that's so disappointing.
Well, one good thing I do think, though, is they're doing that Milestone Returns 0 issue, which will showcase all the different characters from Milestone, and Static does have like a story in there. So hopefully that'll springboard into more people picking up the digital. But I agree with you. It should be both. It should be both digital and print. But and it depends on how long it takes to get from the digital version to the print version. If it's months, that's a little bit of a disservice, but still, I'm excited to see the imprint back. And there's more Static news, but I don't know when we're going to talk about that. But
probably next we could. Oh, I mean, let's add it to. We could add it here. There's also talks that there's going to be a movie, so it's not like, oh my god, we have a screenwriter, we have the actor. It's just like it could happen. I hope we could get that, because I think I grew up with Static Shock, and people of my generation know Static Shock, but this generation definitely doesn't know Static as much. So it'd be really cool to get this generation to love Static as much as we did.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a good time for that movie in particular. So I hope it does get made.
I just wish DC wasn't doing, and I'm sure you guys talked about this last week or the week before, where Jim Lee said they're going to be doing a lot of testing through digital only first before they release it in single issues. I don't agree with that, but I mean, it is what it is. What can you do?
At least we have the opportunity to get it printed, and that's like why I'm like, okay, I hope we get this printed, because I want to read Static Shock and in a comic form.
Yeah. I think we will get it. I agree. I agree with what you guys already said about it being released at the same time, like digital and a hard copy, because it's just like, you want to get it out to the masses by releasing it digital, but why not release it in a physical form? I just think people that appreciate the character would appreciate it getting in a hard copy form or floppy or whatnot. And I don't have that much history with Static. I watched the cartoon back in the day, but I don't really have all that much history. But I am happy that the character is going to return. I think that's good, and I think it's important that he returns as well.
All right, so that's all the comic news. So for once, there's actually more media news because of the DC FanDome. Now, this was part 1 of DC FanDome. They really only did the video games and movies in like 2 or 3 weeks. Is the second part, which is going to be more of the TV shows and more of the comic books. So hopefully we get to see more news there. But yeah, let's get into it. Actually, before we touch into the DC FanDome stuff, we're going to touch about 1 or 2 news pieces that weren't related to that. And first up, this came out yesterday. Powerpuff Girls is getting a CW TV show.
Dude, just when you think they can't make anything
I don't know how to
else,
feel that.
right? Now, supposedly, what I read that the girls are supposedly in their 20s. That's what I read. And
they don't want to be superheroes. That ruined their childhood.
Okay. Yeah, their childhood's messed up. They're in their 20s, and I'm just like, how is this even going to work? Like, what do you even begin to come up with? This is nowhere, shape, or form going to be the Powerpuff Girls that we once saw on
Riverdale
TV.
2.0 Powerpuff Girls edition.
That's it.
I don't understand why they're doing that, especially in they're like older. I mean, because Powerpuff Girls were like, little girls. Like, that was the whole point of the story. I mean,
and also they liked being heroes, which was a big part of the story. Like, everyone knew who they were. It's not like they had a secret identity of any
But you might as well call them like either Powerpuff Team or Powerpuff Teens or whatever. What
Powerpuff 20-year-olds,
20-year-olds. I mean,
Powerpuff young adults.
I mean, I understand
Powerpuff
girls are girls.
The later years.
I understand girls are girls no matter what age or anything. I'm just saying it would make.
Yes.
It's just gonna be called Puff, and they're gonna have like a bong as their symbol and everything.
I hope, honestly. Let's see it happen.
That works too.
I hope so.
Like, can you imagine Mojo Jojo showing up in this CW
oh my
show?
God, no.
He's gonna be hot. Oh, we know. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I hope it's better than what we can expect. I think there's a small tinge of possibility it could be cool. Like, I do think it's interesting to see these, young girls become adults and what their life would look like. I think that could be cool. And seeing, how being a superhero for your whole life can affect things. But at the same time, we've seen what the Berlanti and company have done with these type of franchises. Although I know a lot of people like Nancy Drew. Actually, I don't think that's a Berlanti show. So I'm not sure.
I like
Stargirl. I'm only a few episodes in, but from what I watched so far, I've really enjoyed that show so far. It's actually really good.
I've only seen the pilot so far,
Yeah,
but I
me
know
too.
a lot of people like it. And Yeah, it looks like it's in the vein of what you would want from the CW.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I do want to mention, Tabby, I didn't make the Powerpuff Girl, so I can't. I don't know. I'm only the news giver, so I can't. That's all I got.
There was a whole generation of people that love Powerpuff Girls, though. So, and they're older now, so it kind of makes sense, you know. So.
Yeah.
Let's hope.
I just love how CW is taking everything that used to be light and happy and making it dark, brooding, and
well, you don't know that's what they're doing yet. Probably.
No, you can't even say that with a straight face.
Well, no, I mean the CW also had stuff like Heart of Dixie, which is definitely humor and not dark, and so there's a possibility it could be lighter.
And like I said, Nancy Drew actually had like a good balance. I thought they did a really good job at like aging her up and still making it interesting. And like, there's definitely a possibility of making this good. People really like Katie Keene, and that was a Berlanti show, and that was in the same universe as Riverdale. So I'm hoping, and I do think it's a somewhat cool idea. I'm just kind of worried about the stuff we've gotten in the past.
Let's see. SM Down said, "How do you make a live action series about girls who violently beat up grown villains?"
Like that.
Go watch the Scott Pilgrim movie.
There you go.
Scott Pilgrim was
there. You go,
dude. I never watched that whole movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never watched the whole thing.
I love that movie. I think it's hilarious.
All right, well, let's get into our only other piece that is not DC related, and that is Olivia Wilde directing a new Spider film. So most people think it's Spider-Woman. We don't know. We know it's a Spider character, but we don't know which female Spider character it could be. It could be anyone because
I hope it's Spider-Girl.
Characters.
I hope it's Spider-Girl. I want a future story.
I would love Mayday Parker. I think that would be cool. Gwen, I think, would probably fit Olivia Wilde's resume the most, because I am a huge fan of Booksmart. I don't know if you guys seen the movie, but that's like one of my favorite movies of all time, and that was her directorial debut. And it's all about teens, and it's the same screenwriter, I believe, as Booksmart is writing this. So I'm super excited, and I would love to see Spider-Gwen. I think that'd be the most. If it's Jessica Drew, that'd be cool too, though. Anyone, honestly, any Spider Girl would be fine with me.
What do you think about it being ultimate Jessica Drew?
Oh my God, I would love that to pieces. I would really, really like to see that.
All right, because I was thinking about that too. I'm like, would they put Jessica Drew from the main universe or maybe from the Ultimate Universe?
That would make a lot of sense.
It could be amalgamation.
I would really it could be. I would love to see the clone of because we haven't seen the Clone Saga, and I feel like that would be a really cool twist on the Clone Saga.
Yeah.
Also, Booksmart did a really good job with like sexuality, LGBTQ characters, and that would be kind of cool with Jessica Drew because that was like a part of her character as well for the Ultimate Universe. Yeah. So I think that'd be really, really cool. I would love to see that.
I think it's live action, lyric magic as if it's an animated film. I think it's
I'm pretty sure it's live action.
Yeah, I think so too.
Their animated stuff is, just Into the Spider-Verse.
That's DC Comics. DC Comics focuses on a lot of animated movies.
They do, and they haven't been good in a while.
No, they haven't. I think I'm going to be waiting on the next couple, that's for sure.
We do have a question for SM Down. Issue 6 coming soon for Life While I Daughter. Actually, Brant has more of the answer for that. No, Brant's
isn't that weird?
I know, right? Brant actually could answer that. But we're aiming for the next couple of weeks that the digital copy will be done for the book and then printed. It honestly doesn't take too many weeks to get it printed. If everything goes well, the printer that we use is pretty quick. So if everything goes well, end of September, hopefully it'll be in the store October the latest. So we're on a good track for this one. All right. Any other comments on Olivia Wilde?
She's going to direct the Like Father, Like Daughter movie.
I know.
There you go.
I'm sorry,
awesome.
SM Down just been asking about Like Father, Like Daughter. I thought that'd be perfect plug. So direct the movie.
I would
knock on her absolutely.
Knock on her door tomorrow
Olivia
night.
Wilde to direct the movie. I'm just like everybody else. I'm excited to see any of the Spider Women characters in a movie. So I don't care which one it is.
I wonder, because they've been doing such offshoots like Morbius and stuff, what if it's Madam Web? Like,
Oh my god! I
Okay,
don't-
not anyone.
I hope-
you
No,
don't want it.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
want
no,
it. You want a Morbius movie? Did you
I don't
want?
want to see a freaking old crinkly woman.
I want
just
to
sitting
be-
on
please.
it.
If it's gonna be her, I want it to be old lady.
How about
Old lady Madam
Spider
Web.
Woman Jessica or
what's
Julia
her
Carpenter?
Julia Carpenter.
No,
Yeah.
if we're having a Madam Web series, it has to be old lady Madam Web.
I'm cool. I'm
think
cool
our
with Julia
cats-
Carpenter, Jessica Drew, Gwen Stacy, made it. I
Wow,
don't care.
you just don't want
So-
a Madam Web. They're gonna make
No
it
Madam Web. No Madam Web.
They're gonna make
I don't
it
even know
Madam
what
Web.
you would do with a Madam Web. Her
I-
looking at the web saying, "Ooh, the future looks grim."
I'd rather have Carly Cooper than Madam Web. Come
Me
on.
too. Let's get a cop movie out of that.
There you go. Do
Uh,
Gotham in Spider-Man style.
I'm sure it's not going to be Madam Web with this creative team, though. I have a feeling they're not going to tap this director and this writer for that. But let's get into some of this DC news. We got a lot to talk about. First of all, we are talking about the animated movies. We have a new slate of the animated movies. I'm going to pull this up to see the exact titles here. We have Batman Soul the Dragon. So it's like a 1970s movie.
First
Then we
Batman
have-
movie. There's one.
More Batman. Yay.
There's
No,
more
wait, there's
Batman.
one. Wait, there's more. Go ahead, keep going, Kat.
We have the Justice Society World War II movie that's coming out.
That might be.
It's a lot of
not
That
period
one's actually
pieces.
cool. Yeah.
And then we
Mhm.
have a 2-part movie for Batman The Long Halloween.
3 Batman movies in 1 year.
Even more Batman.
But wait,
Uh.
we have Justice Society in the middle of it. So you can't say they're only doing Batman.
It's
I don't
a
Watch
want-
Batman in the
honestly-
JSA.
It's like an
Oh my god, wouldn't that be
infomercial.
crazy if it's like Batman and the JSA like they did Suicide Squad?
I don't wanna
Batman.
see any
Watch
of
one
this.
Batman movie, get the next one for free.
You know, that's what it should be at this point.
They should, for sure. No, I'm tired of it. I haven't liked. I watched Man of Tomorrow. Really didn't like it. I just feel like they're spinning these out to spit them out at this point.
At this point, I was gonna say the same. Yep, I'm not bothering anymore.
1970s Batman. I mean, why? Why do we need these? Batman A Long Halloween, I get. It's a popular book, but is it really going to be that great? None of these adaptations. in the
Whatever
past
happened to the? I
five-
would like a Kingdom Come animated movie. Blackest Night,
would
make
be
it a
cool.
3-part,
Oh yeah.
year-long thing.
Blackest
What else
Night
was-
would be a freaking sweet ass movie.
Yes, it would.
Right?
That would
It'd have
sell
all the
so
lanterns.
well.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
would
it's not
fuck
like
with
it's a modern day story. A lot of people have read it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was created years and years and years ago. So I think that one would be great.
I want that.
Yeah,
I want a
I would
3-part
definitely
Blackest
see that.
Night.
I don't think
Yeah.
we'll get it for the animated films just because it's
DC.
of a story. Yeah, I think they're probably going to save that for their Green Lantern TV show that they're doing.
Oh, that's true. They might. That I'll probably never see until it comes out on DVD because
Yeah,
I
but
don't have Max.
It won't have the scope that you could do with an animated film for that. That's my concern with that. But
We do have a comment from SM Down. Death of Superman was the best comic turned animated movie for me. I would say Under the Red Hood was my favorite, but
Yes.
Death of Superman was good. I enjoyed it. It was definitely the best
The best
by
2-parter.
far in the past 7 years.
I actually
Yeah.
didn't see it. I didn't realize it was that good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was one of
it's
my
solid.
favorite 2-parters, honestly. And they brought Superboy finally into the animated universe, which was nice.
The sequel to it is not great, but the Death of Superman first movie is
The
pretty
sequel wasn't great, but at least it gave us, like I said, it brought Superboy in, so it opens up opportunity for other Superboy movies.
good.
now.
Although they're not doing
They're
that.
not
universe
going to
anymore.
because they're doing Batman.
Well, that too. They and they're such random Batman movies. Again, it's like 1970 Batman. It's like when, why, what's going on?
I mean,
don't
they
think-
did Gotham by Gaslights. I mean, why not?
Yeah, which was not very good.
I
But yeah,
didn't even
that's-
buy that one.
No.
I skipped that one completely.
The ones I've
It
skipped
was-
so far, I haven't watched Deathstroke. I haven't
I
watched
didn't watch that either.
Superman, Son of Red Sun. I haven't watched. I think those are only 2 I haven't
Red
seen.
Sun was eh. Honestly, it took me 3 sittings to finish the movie. It was eh.
Tevye asks, what about Justice League Apocalypse War? I actually liked Apocalypse War. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, none of these are mind-blowing, though. You know, none of them like Under the Red Hood for me. Really enjoyed that.
Under the Red Hood was one of my favorites from back in the day, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, let's get into the next thing, which is Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton return for the Flash movie.
That's
Happy about
cool.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Yeah.
It's probably
So
only
is it-
like a 5-second scene, though. It's probably
Yeah.
nothing. It's probably nothing huge, but just to see him kind of back would just for those couple seconds or whatever it is, I think it's really awesome.
Yeah. Now are they doing like a Flashpoint thing? Is that what's?
Yeah,
I
from
think
what
so.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. So
What they talked about.
then there's possibilities there could be other cameos or whatever.
Batman
They could reveal
Beyond.
later.
Probably Michael Keaton would be like a Beyond Batman kind
Well,
of
we
moment.
saw all this with Crisis on Infinite Earths.
We did.
Well, they don't care. It
They
doesn't count.
spoiled
doesn't
it all.
count. It doesn't count for the movieverse because that was
It does because Ezra Miller was in there.
Yeah, they actually said that actually gave him the name Flash was Crisis. So for once, it
Yeah.
does count.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. It was like it'd be cool, like if just for like a brief second, Grant Gustin like up on screen or something, just to
I could see
further
that.
tie in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
see that. I hope if they do this, they'll keep some surprises because again, unlike
Yeah.
Crisis, we knew everything going into it, and it definitely, honestly, ruined a lot of it for me.
I didn't because I watched it so late and somehow I avoided it all. I had no idea Ezra Miller was going to pop up on that, so I actually got surprised when I finally.
So
watched
you're
it.
lucky on that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into some more DC film stuff, and one being the Snyder Cut trailer. That song,
Woo!
that song was an interesting choice.
Nirvana song?
It was, I think, Hallelujah was the song.
was.
The Snyder Cut. Oh,
Yeah, the Snyder Cut.
They
Interesting.
used the Hallelujah song.
Yeah.
Yeah, from,
yeah,
like,
but that
probably
song is the
Watchmen
same
version.
song for
Yeah, the
Watchmen.
Watchmen,
though.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the one thing that really, like, I didn't mind the trailer. I actually thought the trailer looked kind of cool, and it made me say, okay, I would like to see this because it is in separate parts, right? And so, but then when
They
I was
separated it into parts.
yeah,
four
it's like 4 parts.
Four
Yeah,
parts.
yeah.
All an hour.
So, but the thing is, though, is that the trailer is good, but the music did not fit the trailer
No.
whatsoever.
So weird.
And it kind of takes you out of it. And you're like, why am I watching this trailer with the song of when they played in Watchmen? You know,
Yeah.
I was like, that's just odd to me.
Just made me
The
think.
song they played in Watchmen during the graphic sex scene, as a matter of fact.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought of when I was
That's all
watching.
I
it.
associate with Hallelujah now. That's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, it also didn't fit. I actually love the music for Watchmen. I think it,
Yeah, it was
besides
really
that
good.
one scene, that one scene is like, why?
The only good thing that came out of the Snyder Cut is the black and silver Superman suit. I am not watching a 4-part retelling.
I said that
Snyder
though a couple of weeks ago. I said that it might be in many parts because there's just been talks about it being really long, so they would release it that way. And it makes sense though because if it's on HBO Max, right, and it's on a streaming service, you would want to kind of release it in parts to stretch that out a little bit. So I don't know. I think it's all right. I'm curious to see how it's going to be, but I don't have HBO Max, so I'll probably wait till it comes out on DVD or some kind of release otherwise.
I'm sure it'll come out on DVD. There's no way they're not going to want to try to get people to buy a hard copy.
I might watch it. I don't know. I don't know if we have HBO Max or not.
I
Honestly.
don't, and
Probably
I'm
not.
getting it.
I don't think we do yet.
Even if I did, I wouldn't waste my time watching a 4-hour Justice League movie when I like nothing from the Snyderverse
I
at
know.
all.
It's
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like I didn't really like at all the
Yeah.
Justice League, no parts of it. So if I had like little pieces I enjoyed of that movie, I'd be like, let me go see what this is all about. But I really didn't like Justice League, so I don't want to.
It was better than
Exactly.
Batman v Superman.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
not saying
I know.
not saying much. All right, let's
Zack
get into,
Snyder should be cut from the movies. Period.
Well, they're making a lot of money. He's making.
Oh, they are, and he is too. Everybody wanted it, so now everybody will get it, and then they could shut up.
Oh, they'll have someone else to talk about.
Always.
Let's get into the next thing.
Sorry,
Hopefully,
speaking of that, I gotta mention that. No love for half-rendered dark. Exactly.
Yeah. No, thank you.
All right, let's get into Wonder Woman trailer, thing that I hope everyone is excited for. I really like this trailer. I think this is the best thing that came out. Well, not excitement-wise, because, we already had a trailer of Wonder Woman, so I don't know if it was like the biggest news piece, but for me, it was the one that I was like, oh man, I can't wait for Wonder Woman. We're
going to talk about Black Adam and Black Knight. So.
We'll talk about Black Adam. We're going to talk about Batman. Don't worry. We're talking about Suicide Squad. We're getting all there. Don't worry. We have it all on the dock. But yeah, Wonder Woman. I really like Cheetah. I'm super excited for this movie. I like that it's Wonder Woman showing Steve the world. It's the opposite of what that original movie was. But yeah, super excited.
Yeah, this trailer was pretty cool. I was just like excited about seeing Wonder Woman using the lasso of truth to travel through lightning bolts. I'm like, what's going on there? I'm like, that's kind of cool. And then she's deflecting bullets but I like the cheetah scenes at the end. I was just like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, because I was hoping that they would show her, and I think Kristen Wiig looks like she could be a pretty good.
Yeah,
she fits the role pretty good. I was kind of underestimating her at first, and then I'm just like, wow, she looks like she's going to hold her own here. So I think it's cool.
Look, just go see Bridesmaids right before Wonder Woman 2. Don't see Wonder Woman 1. Go see Bridesmaids and then Wonder Woman 2. But yeah, no, I think she looked really good, and even the graphics, like, you wouldn't expect to look good after Cats, as people have mentioned, and how bad Cats looked. So it was nice to see a cat character look okay in the trailer.
I think what I'm curious to see is her progression, her change. Cheetah on how, so because in the beginning of the movie you see obviously she's normal, right? And then she obviously gets her powers, and then she all of a sudden is like Cheetah, full-blown Cheetah at the end. So that's why I'm curious to see that journey down that path for her.
I'm watching the trailer right now.
I
don't watch any trailers. It's giving me a hard time about it. I know.
I'm glad that you're finally watching some.
You don't have to wait for me to watch it. Yeah, I know.
We'll get back to you.
Okay.
We'll get back to you, Brant, because you did not do your homework, and we're all really upset.
I know. I'm sorry.
Don't feel bad, Brant. I didn't watch
failed.
the Wonder Woman trailer either.
You know what, Chris?
I'm not a movie buff. Out of everyone here, I choose video games over movies. So,
but I am. I love movies.
But you are, so you're in trouble, not me.
Yes,
you're a bad
Everyone
influence on Brant. That's
I am.
That's true. It's all Chris's fault. It's always all Chris's fault. He distracted me.
I made you watch Fortnite. I made you watch Fortnite instead.
I didn't watch that either.
The first trailer that
everybody expects this from me. I'm not a movie dude. That's why I don't care about most of the movie stuff.
We'll talk Titans, and we're gonna talk Batman. Let's get there. Let's talk about it. So the Batman trailer. We talked a little bit pre-show about this. I was pretty neutral on the trailer. I didn't hate it or love it. I really liked up to the point where Chris didn't like. I liked the part where he was punching out that guy.
That's where I shut it off and said, "This is not my Batman movie." Bye-bye.
Oh no, I love that. I love that. It felt kind of like Arkham Asylum, like those video games. It felt like that style a lot, in which we'll obviously talk about that video game. So I enjoyed it.
Which one?
Didn't watch
the Batman trailer. Like I said, I thought it was like pretty in the middle for it. I didn't love brooding Batman. The eyeliner maybe was a little bit too much for me.
I liked the trailer. I thought it was interesting, dark, gloomy, gritty. I liked it. I thought he was badass Batman. Still yet to be determined on what his Bruce Wayne is going to be like, I guess, because he kind of looks a little like emo. You know what I'm saying? He's like, dude, I'm just like pissed off. It's like he reminds me of like Damien in a way, you know. But I thought as a Batman he looked cool, and I just thought I loved that scene when he beat the crap out of that guy. I thought it was cool. The trailer was a little slow, but you kind of got obviously what's going on there, who's involved and whatnot. So I think it can be a good movie. I really do think so. Now, is this rated R? Because it looks like it could be, because it looks pretty dark.
It has to be.
They haven't even finished filming, so I don't even know if they have a rating yet. Because usually they'll come up with a rating once it's all done. They'll have like a group of people, like usually parents. There's like a group of secret Hollywood people that make ratings for movies. So yeah, we don't have a rating yet, but it could be, and that'd be interesting.
Is that the guy from Westworld in it?
Oh, I don't know which character. I watched the pilot. With the glasses.
That's a lot of the comments I've been seeing. Batman being brutal, awesome. So it's like, yeah, I don't like it. I'm sorry, it just didn't appease me. It didn't.
It's like when Batman picks flowers and gives sunflowers.
Yeah, that's right.
I think this Batman is a little bit more realistic than Ben Affleck Batman.
Oh yeah,
like Ben Affleck Batman is too just like
Ben Affleck Batman felt like he was trying to be Batman instead of being Batman.
I don't know. He was just too like, he tried to be like almost too comical in the way. You know what I'm saying?
Too,
and
yeah.
it's just like, yeah. And I was just like, okay, you're not a Tony Stark, so don't try to be a Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
It. More like a Tony Stark want to be. Yeah,
he had that sarcasm that you just don't see with Batman. Batman's more dry.
And what was wrong with Adam West Batman, Serenity? When I was growing up, that's what I watched. Shut up.
That was goofy.
Yeah, but
that was goofy. That was goofy. Well, he was goofy.
But
He's saw the goofy Batman.
Yeah, I saw the trailer also. I thought it was like 50-50. Like it had some good stuff in it and stuff like that, but like I said, I'm in the middle. So it's like moderate, all right.
I just watched that trailer too. So I watched the movie. Sound off, of course, but
it looked great.
It looked beautiful.
I'm trying. It didn't look bad. I have to rewatch it with sound, but it was a little bit slow. But yeah,
who wraps people with duct tape? Like that's pretty dark, you know. I mean, it's weird.
All right, well, that's our Batman thoughts. Let's get into Suicide Squad first look. I was pleasantly surprised by this. You know, I love Margot Robbie. I love her to death, and she never gets a break. Any movie she's in, besides I, Tonya, which I loved, she always just gets a bad script, but she does a beautiful job. She's always great in it. And that was the same thing with, I know, people like Birds of Prey, but I have my dislikes and likes about that movie. And then I really didn't like Suicide Squad, but she was always great. But I'm happy. It looks like she's finally getting the movie she deserves. And there's some interesting cast members here. And yeah, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy for DC Comics. So yeah. I think it's going to look really good. I'm excited about it.
That's definitely the way it was set up. It was set up almost just like how Guardians was when that was first released. When you got the lineup of the characters, well, here you got the lineup of the characters like in their comic form. The one thing that I saw, though, I was like, dude, there's a lot of freaking characters in this trailer. I'm like, even though there was nothing but you seeing the characters and who played them, you're just like, wow, there's a lot of people in here. And the funny thing is like, having King Shark in this movie I think is going to be hilarious, you know. But this out of all the Harley movies, probably I agree with you, Kat. I think this one's going to be a good one.
Well, we know Brand hasn't seen it.
I'm watching it right now. John Cena's in this?
That's 3 trailers.
John Cena is in it.
Wow.
He's playing like a Captain America.
Yeah, that fits perfectly. It's interesting. I liked Birds of Prey. I thought it was an interesting movie, but I also like Suicide Squad, so I'll probably like this one too. So
I just feel like Margot Robbie deserves the world, and she hasn't gotten the world yet. She deserves the universe, really. But yeah.
So out of all of us here, Kat is not a fan. I mean, if you could tell by the way she talks about it.
No, Kat's never seen this movie. No.
Oh yeah, Silver Stroke 123 says John Cena is playing Peacemaker in this movie, and it just just seeing John Cena in a movie always cracks me up. Anyway, I just feel like he's a horrible actor, but I just I think he'll probably be fine in his role.
He's no Dwayne Johnson.
No, absolutely not.
I was just thinking that.
I think he tries real hard, but he's not. He's not even close.
Right.
All right, let's get into. Well, first of all, Brant, what did you think about the sound off Suicide Squad trailer?
It was pretty cool. I mean, the version I saw, I don't know if this is the only version, but it was like cutting back and forth with people talking about the movie.
Yeah, it's a behind the scenes.
Yeah. So I obviously couldn't hear what they were talking about, but no, it looked cool. James Gunn behind it. Obviously you're going to get that Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, but all these different characters, and it's crazy because they built up Harley's world as like this insane place, so it just fits. So.
All right, let's get into our last of the movies, which is the first look at Black Adam.
I did watch that one.
That one I watched. I guess Brant and I watched it for the same reason. The Rock.
Oh, I love The Rock and I like Black Adam. So
exactly. I thought that trailer was good where he's standing there, he's shouting everybody's name out. He's like, "You're done." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, this looks cool."
Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
I'm definitely down for the Black Adam movie. This is going to be interesting.
I missed that trailer because I think I just scrolled it. Like I saw a picture of it, but then I didn't see a play button, so I guess I missed that one.
No, I saw. Yeah, because
I'm a loser.
I didn't watch
Beat
it.
me up like Batman does.
You know what? I want Batman to beat us all up the way he does.
I want to see The Rock beat that Batman up. Then maybe I'll watch that movie.
No.
What were you gonna say, Michael?
No, I was just saying, I saw the thumbnail of The Rock, with the picture of him as Black Adam, and I have to say it does really build hype for the movie of all of what he said. That's actually pretty intense.
Yeah. They go into that whole history of his people not being free and being kept down and everything, and him being their savior and taking matters into his own hands. So I love that they're going full on with the classic Black Adam story. And I know he's been wanting to play this role for a long time, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the only TV news we've really got this week, because again, TV is moved to September, and that is Barbara Gordon's going to be joining Titans, which has been rumored for a while, so that's not a surprise, and that Jason Todd will now be called Red Hood. I guess I have to watch Titans season 2 to watch season 3 because
he didn't get shot. He didn't get killed in season 2, so I don't know why.
I'm gonna watch for Barbara Gordon either way.
Season 2 was good. It was really.
It was
good.
amazing. I loved it. I thought season 2 was very good.
Yeah, I love that he's going to be Red Hood now, and I can't wait for Barbara Gordon's edition. I mean, it's just this show keeps getting better and better.
I actually really like Jason Todd in the show.
I'm still on episode 1, season 1. No, episode 2. Episode 2.
Oh, at least you're up to episode 2. Doesn't get much better until.
Oh, I'm so bad with TV. I'm so bad.
I feel you, honestly. All right, let's get into our last news piece, which is the Gotham Knight video game. This is a video game without Batman. It's gonna be
dead.
Dude, I watched that, and that was freaking phenomenal.
I loved it.
I heard about it. I didn't get
to
watch it.
It was the best. Wow.
Lisa's brother was telling me about it. Yeah,
that was like watching a movie trailer, man. That thing was so intense, and just all the characters, like all the Robins, and you could be Barbara. Oh my gosh, it just looks so good. It was amazing. And I know there's the Suicide Squad game that was obviously that didn't look anything in comparison to this Batman game. This Batman game was freaking awesome. And I had my son watching it with me. I'm like, you want to buy a video game? I'll let you get this one because this looks great.
On pre-order way before the Suicide Squad game. It just didn't interest me, the Suicide Squad game. This, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, where's the pre-order button? Where is the pre-order button, and what console am I going to get it for?
I was gonna ask, what console is it gonna be for? Is it?
Yeah,
I think it'll be on all of them. The only game that's ever been exclusive is Spider-Man to Sony.
Well, how about Switch? Is it gonna be on that? I'm curious.
Probably
what
Switch
not.
is getting everything now.
You think Switch is really Switch? You'll get in that?
I mean, I
Yeah.
have an Xbox One, but knowing like they're getting a new Xbox, they're getting a new PlayStation, I'm a little worried it won't be for Xbox One. It'll be for the new
Right.
system.
Xbox for the next year is going to be making one with the ability to be compatible with their new console. So out of all the consoles, Xbox might be the safest bet because they might make it for the one. So I don't know, but I know PlayStation, once the 5 comes out, they're converting complete.
Oh, I hope it
Yeah.
comes up for the 4 because I don't. I won't be getting a 5 for a while.
Yeah, that sounds expensive.
Great game though, but Suicide Squad game. It's just like I watched it and I was actually bored. I was just like, I didn't like the voice acting in it. And I'm not saying it's not going to be a good game. I just wasn't into it. Like after I first watched the Gotham Knights trailer and then I watched that, I'm like, this is very underwhelming compared to what I just watched.
JD made a good point. Maybe it's connected to Injustice, the Suicide Squad movie,
Oh,
The,
Yeah,
I don't know.
the game.
Possible.
the game.
Okay. I mean, that's one I don't think I'll be getting. If I'm gonna get a video game, it's gonna be the one where I could play Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Margot Robbie's not voicing Harley in the Suicide Squad
No.
video game, so what's the point?
I'm 100% for Gotham Knights. Suicide Squad will be like a game I get when it's on sale.
Hmm.
When it becomes $30.
If you want some games,
25.
trade
20.
the PS4 for a 5. I don't have a PS4. I only got the Xbox One and the Switch. So
Honestly,
And
I've
trade
only got
I
the
don't
PS4.
I'd rather, when the new consoles come out, if I'm going to get anything, it'll probably be the Series X before 5. I will say that.
well, I've always been an Xbox
Dude,
person.
isn't the Xbox gonna be like
I've always been a
a shit
PlayStation.
ton of money though?
No, they're
They
saying the
all are.
PlayStation. They say the PlayStation's rumored to be 700-800.
Yeah.
The Xbox will be 5 to 6.
That's still too much money.
That's still way too much
That's
money.
ridiculous.
Both
I'm
of
not-
them are
until
ridiculous.
they fix.
Anyone who's bought video game consoles, it doesn't surprise. I mean, I think the Xbox One was $400 when it came out, and the PS4 was also
wonder how
about
much it is now.
$400-$500.
Yeah, but you should
Xbox.
wait a couple of months because you may be unlucky to get bugs in there.
Well, that too,
When the
yeah.
system comes
Not only
out.
that, the designs this time, one looks like a tower and the other one looks like a DSL modem.
Yeah, exactly. And but it's just like, now do you get a video game with that?
No.
I feel
Probably
like
not.
the ways of that.
No.
That's
You
great.
don't.
Oh yeah,
You
the
get one,
Xbox
you get
X.
one controller and the system itself, and it's
Wait
like,
for the. Yeah.
Only Nintendo
Honestly,
does
that's
that.
why a
Wait.
lot of people are going to PC because Xbox games can be played on PC and you don't have to worry about upgrading. Xbox Series
Yeah.
X games are going to work on PC just like on an
As
Xbox
Bavarian just
Series
said,
X.
Bavarian
Yeah,
also
exactly.
on
It
PC.
pays to go PC because all you got to do is worry about upgrading a video card or something.
But it's like a
every
computer. It doesn't.
couple of years.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I played all the Arkham games on Steam, so it's like.
And you could attach a controller to your PC.
Yeah,
so
I do. Yeah.
there you go. So PCs are eventually going to take over everything, in my opinion, because consoles are way too expensive.
yeah, we're hardcore gamers here. That's our gamer talk today.
Our gamer talk for the year.
Go over to twitch.tv/Dark Avenger Gaming. Click the sub button. You know, you save the world every time you subscribe to that channel.
As well as Durock 18.
You're not on Twitch.
No, but I'm on YouTube.
We're not.
This
talking
is not the
about-
plugging section, guys. Come on.
You're not. Don't listen to Michael. He doesn't save the world. Follow.
Excuse me?
Doesn't save the world.
Here's the brotherly fight. This is what happens when you don't have the full cast on and then you bring them two together again. This is what happens.
You get
Brothers
It's
battle.
a good thing they're separated. They're stay to your corners, guys.
Yeah, keep in one corner, you keep in the other corner.
It's whatever.
Adventure Gaming, number one on Twitch. We're going for that.
Well, that was all the news and the news of where you can find some gaming videos. So we are going to the under the radar section of this episode.
I can tell
All
you
right.
where you can't find any gaming news right on Comic Book Corner 2.0. You will not find any gaming news. So go to Chris's channel.
I forgot to do it under the radar.
Why
Go ahead,
not,
Michael.
Mike? You should do gaming news.
No,
Anyway.
I don't have time for all that.
Too much
did,
money.
I did think about doing the Thor news, but then I was like, we'll talk about it on the show. So I was like, I don't know what to do that one.
All right, so let's go to Under the Radar. So the Under the Radar book that I want to choose to talk about this week is actually some really interesting. Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 30. This is a really awesome issue. Like, now that the metal virus was destroyed, now Sonic has not been seen after the metal virus when he got rid of it because of a how they say in the video games, like warp, like the super warp that he used to try to get rid of the metal virus sucked him in, and it was like way too powerful. So that's why there was no sign of Sonic. But yet we have Zavok, who returned along with his other Goonies that he works with and all that, and all cause chaos. And the Deadly Six, that's what they were called. And they cause chaos as, we're causing all the trouble. Then you have their shuttle that was taken by Dr. Eggman. So things are not good for Sonic's team, with Tails, Knuckles, and all that. What I really liked about this issue, though, was where Shadow and Metal Sonic had that epic fight scene. I thought that was really pretty epic. But then we go to Palace of the Soul Empire, Blaze's world. Sonic was actually there when he just came down like a meteor, so he was in a different world, and that's actually a huge cliffhanger where it was left to be continued. Really awesome issue. Can't say nothing more or less about it, so definitely you guys should go check that out if you're Sonic the Hedgehog fans, such as myself and whoever is on here.
Well,
So-
no one on here, but somewhere in the
comic
Somewhere.
universe.
yeah, in the comic
Exactly, in the
universe.
media. So let's go to Brant. What was your Under the Radar book?
A book called Voyage to the Stars. It was from IDW, and it was based on a podcast that has like Felicia Day and one of the guys from Superstore and different people. I didn't know what to expect with it. I've never listened to the podcast. It's like a radio drama kind of thing. And it's kind of this weird story about this ragtag group of people that were too late to save the Earth. So now they're trying to find a way to save the universe from this thing called the Nothing. And they find this guy in a bubble that's supposed to be the Superman. They call him the Exemplar, and they end up accidentally killing him by the end of the issue. So it's just like off the wall, offbeat, kind of dark humor. And in a sci-fi setting, it was kind of fun. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, pretty good, solid first issue.
Okay. So, Kat, you're next Under the Radar.
Hold on, sorry. All right, mine is the Dead Day, issue 2. I really enjoyed issue 1. Issue 2 is a little slower, but I think there's a lot of interesting character moments. We get to see the Son's definitely getting himself into some trouble with this cult-like ritual by the end of the issue. But I really liked the idea of this wife/mother who had this lover who died and kind of had to move on with her life, but it doesn't mean that she doesn't love that person, and what that all means. What does that mean for her steady life of a suburban mother to this kind of wild road that she's going to be taking? And I thought that was a really interesting, kind of ethical, character-driven notion brought up.
Yeah, Dead Day was always awesome. That second issue, I agree. It was like finding out the history of that man, husband, whatever he was to her, was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And you find out that like his best friend like betrayed him at the end. It actually killed him, right? I think that's what it came down to.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then at the very end, right, what do we get? We find out that the little girl that the boy wants to hook up with is one of those revivalists or whatever it is. And it's just like they're all around this grave, and it's just kind of like, okay, what's going to happen? Are we going to see this ritual in the next issue? And I love how this book really fleshes out those characters a lot. So you get to learn each and every character, and it makes you care for them right away. So great book. This is awesome.
I've loved it. This was it was worth the wait for a month. Oh, sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
No, I'm not.
I was just gonna say I didn't think I had read the first issue, but I had, and so I went ahead and read this issue as well. Yeah, same thing. I loved learning more about this guy's past and everything, and the conflict with the supposed best friend and stuff that he thought was just like this stupid idiot. That he thought of as a brother, but still thought he was kind of dumb, and ends up that he's the one that betrayed him and stuff. So you got a lot of different threads going on here with the kid at the house, and of course Mel and her ex and everything, and all. It's a really interesting take on the the zombie genre. So I enjoyed it.
All right. So that's all you have to say about the book, Kat?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So Mike,
mine was actually the conclusion to Hotel from AWA.
God, it was so good.
Oh man, this book. At first you thought when we read it, it was weird, right? And it's still
demon.
It still is weird, but this whole book is not like an anthology book that you thought that it was. Like it was one story and done. All the 4 rooms actually connect, and the hotel actually means something. And and you find that out in room number 3, how a woman gets trapped, and she gets trapped within the walls of the hotel, and she witnesses everything that's happened throughout the hotel. It was freaking awesome. And in this issue, you wind up seeing the conclusion, obviously, what happens in this hotel. And it is weird, man. And so this is the first series that ended for AWA. And I hope that they also come up with a volume 2 for this. But if not, I want to recommend to anybody that likes horror comics, independent books, obviously, go buy it in trade when it does come out in trade, because this is an excellent read.
I love how it ended, where with the character from the first issue, though. Also, like it came full circle. It ended with the woman from the first issue.
Yes, it did. It was so freaking weird, dude. And this last issue is really creepy too. It was like,
if you don't like clowns, you won't like this issue.
Oh boy! And if you see The Exorcist, man, oh man, I don't want to spoil any more of it. It's just definitely go out there and read it. It's a must read.
I loved it.
Absolutely.
All right, and Chris, what's you under the radar?
G.I. Joe issue number 7. This week it's focusing on Scarlet dealing with PTSD after this happens before Cobra took over America, but after one of G.I. Joe's fights against Cobra. And it shows how she's going. Duke tries to get her to go to a help group where they talk out their problems. And the whole journey from the beginning of the book to the end is her dealing with her PTSD, being in G.I. Joe, being in the Army. And she comes to terms with it and then wants to re-enlist with Duke to train the next generation of G.I. Joes, which is what we're getting in this arc, because now Cobra has taken over the United States. And what I really liked was this was a special issue dedicated to people who suffer from mental illness. Yes. At the end of the book, there's all information for people who have any type of mental illness. If you need help, there's a helpline, everything. This was a book. I got to give kudos to the G.I. Joe team, to IDW. This was definitely a wonderful one and done book. And it really, it speaks to people who are suffering from mental health. And it also, tells people, look, if you have a problem, go here. It was a nice kind of like the more you know G.I. Joe kind of moment book. Yeah. And I loved it for that reason, that there was a message for this issue.
Yes, Justin Bear, they do stay Yo Joe still. And now knowing it's half the battle.
G.I. Joe. Show the graphic. Show the graphic.
Getting it. Go on up.
G.I. Joe.
I know you all.
This is a G.I. Joe podcast. If you didn't know,
deep down, it really is.
It really is.
Yes. We're all American heroes.
We do have a question from Black Knight. Are you guys reading Guardians of the Galaxy? I am not.
At the moment, I'm not.
I wasn't a fan of Al Ewing's Guardians of the Galaxy. Not a fan of it.
Me either. I dropped off of it.
So that's your answer. No one's reading Guardians of the Galaxy.
No offense, Black Knight. I'm glad that you like it, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I fell off. I think I was going to, and then it kind of just fell into my pile of books. So it's
We're
not
enjoying Immortal Hulk, if that counts.
I read Immortal.
That's what I'm saying. That's is he right? Same writer. Brant doesn't like Immortal Hulk.
But Al Ewing does partake in Empire, and he likes that.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you go. We
I
all
do.
have a favorite Ewing book, and also he has a new Boom Studios book coming out next week.
Oh, really?
Next
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Super long title for that one.
Yeah, it's like are they? I just did an article on it. Are they something dead? Do we find them when they're dead? Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It takes
wow.
up the whole
Yeah.
page, the whole comic book cover.
All right, and since everybody went for the under the radar, now we're gonna pass on to Mike with the big books and top 5.
Yes, that's right, guys. It is big book time and top 5 time. So just to let you know, there are spoilers in this discussion. So if we talk about a particular book, make sure you pause us or let us know, and maybe we'll give you a thumbs out, a thumbs up, thumbs up
Thumbs
to let
out.
you know. Thumbs out. Thumbs up to let you know that we're done with the discussion. And also, guys, just to let you know that we are not talking about the DC books that were released today. We have that in next week's discussion because a lot of people do not pick up their DC comics today. That's including all of us here. So we will not have that discussion. So please, in the chat, keep those things to yourself. Okay?
So hint, hint, don't talk about 3 Jokers in
Yes.
the comments.
I don't look at any DC books until Wednesday. That's one of the other brilliant ideas DC had that I don't agree with.
I will say for work, I had to read 3 Jokers early, but I would have read it tomorrow if I didn't do the articles. But yes, please. It's a big issue, so we do not want spoilers, and we'll fully talk about that next week.
All right, so let's kick it off with the first big book that we're going to talk about. And of course, it's going to be Batman issue 97. So what did you guys think about this? We had Joker rescuing Batman, basically, and Batman is
Harley
obviously-
rescued Batman.
That's what I meant. Harley rescued Batman. He's tripping big time.
That's why I'm
and
laughing. How
you
many
know-
years has he been drugged off his ass so far?
Oh,
3
my
now?
God.
The poor
Yeah.
guy, he's stumbling around. The 3 issues back, he initially got drugged, and now he got drugged again by Harley at the end
I
of
know.
this issue. What's going on?
Harley
love-
was trying to
like
flush
the-
out drugs at least. So Harley
Yeah.
was
it's
trying to work
like
it
the
out.
hair of the dog that bit you, right?
Poor
You know,
Batman.
give you a little
That man
toxin to
is-
get over the toxin.
That man's
Yeah.
tripping. That man's tripping.
I
Oh,
thought the
God.
issue picked up
Really?
once they got to Harley, though, because I thought the issue was kind of slow. I
Yes.
was like, oh my God, this is the
I agree.
same thing I
Yep.
saw last
100%
issue.
agree.
And then we got to Harley. I'm like, okay,
Well,
I'm
what do you-
in again.
What
And
do
then
you-
the ending.
what do you think of Punchline kind of sharing that moment with the Joker there?
About Harley?
Punchline, yeah. No, yeah, like he's like, yeah, it's time to flush out to take care of the old flame, and they kind of hug each other and they're drinking champagne with each
I
other.
didn't
Like,
get a lot from it, honestly. I felt like it was just. What were you gonna say, Brett?
No, go finish your talk. Yeah.
Just sitting. I feel like we've gotten more stuff from Punchline with like the Catwoman and Harley stuff than we have with her and Joker, because like we know that they're together. Like other than that, we don't really know why. But
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about it because it's like in that instance you see that she really does want to replace Harley and she's kind of jealous, and I didn't like that aspect of it. I like Punchline just being there because she's into the whole thing. I don't want it to be that kind of thing again.
Right.
We've
I
already
was kind
seen
of
that.
curious on what you guys thought about that, because that was a kind of a scene where I didn't look too much into it, but I was kind of like, I wonder if they are going there with that, so I wasn't too sure.
Is anybody curious about Clown Killer, though?
I like the twist of him because they mentioned that he's like, he's like Robin, except he kills people.
Yeah.
I thought that was really
What
interesting.
was this character? Is this going to be something that's
think
staying
someone
around?
I don't know.
I think so. I think they're
Grifter.
trying to get, they're trying to do the
Could be
punchline.
Grifter. It could be Grifter.
Oh yeah, because he's supposed to be. Is he supposed to be in Batman? Yeah, I
He
don't
is
know.
supposed to be coming,
he's
yeah.
kid, though. He's Grifter's sidekick.
Now, I like how Tinian is somehow keeping Alfred in this series, right? Like Alfred's dead, but yet since Batman is tripping, he's obviously hallucinating that Alfred is in his ear like usual. So I think that was a real creative way of coming up with a way of somehow keeping him in that book. What do you guys think of that?
I like the ending a lot.
Yeah.
I like that I wish they bring Alfred back. I think that was another mistake that was made, but
I hated how, I mean, we could always go back, but I hated how he died because it felt like it happened off panel.
Yeah.
So at least like, oh yeah, I snapped his neck, and every other character Bruce is seeing has with the neck snap. You see, but you never saw Alfred that way, and it's like
maybe that's why he's seeing this neck break because of that. Who knows?
Seeing everybody's neck break except for Alfred's.
So yeah, overall good issue. What do you guys think of Joker War at this point?
I think it's a solid event. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. So far, so good.
Cool. All right, good. All right, so now we're going to talk about probably the next biggest book this week, and that's Thor issue 6. So,
oh boy,
I read it. I read this issue.
I know,
crazy.
Very happy. I know Mike Spidersley was very happy when we got to the last page of the book.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, I read this issue. I did a review on it, and I was just blown away by the entire issue. You know, so you get Thor, who finally gets the story of Black Winter. Basically, is out to go after Galactus, and Galactus uses Thor to help him destroy the Black Winter, and it's just like Thor thinks of it, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone," type of thing. He sits there and destroys Galactus. I mean, the page and the artwork on that was
insane,
freaking mind blowing. You're just like, "Oh my god!" Like something to take out Galactus. You gotta be freaking strong to do that, you know? And then he's just like, and then he makes him a bomb and he blows up the Black Winter. Now, a lot of people in my comments are like, seemed too easy, right? Do you guys think the Black Winter is completely gone?
No, there's got to be remnants. I mean, you saw the snowflake. I mean, there's got to be something left.
Right, because it's this huge entity, right? And so you would think it's got to get scattered around, you know? So very interesting. But you see that he and I'm surprised that Thor wants to, you know, have himself see himself like how he dies. And you see that particular future.
I like that moment, though, because I think most people, they wouldn't say yes. They'll be like,
right. But
I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Thor has been living forever. So I guess he's kind of curious to see how he goes, right? And I bet that was the last thing that he expected to see. He sees Thor. He sees him Thor sees Thanos holding the Mjolnir, and the Infinity Stones are attached to it. And then he has Null's sword, and he's using it as a gauntlet. And it's like, and there's Marvel zombies everywhere. And I was like, what is happening here? So the ending just blew my mind. And so I guess the possibilities are endless when it comes to Thor getting to this point. I guess now we get this possible story of how does Thor get to this point? And is Donny Cates going to write, you know, all this, or is he going to go into the future? Like, what's going to happen? You guys have any theories on this?
I think it's going to be an event because this is like so much bigger than. Yeah, it sounds like it's building up to something else with these zombies and Thanos and all that. I'm sure it's going to be 2021's next Marvel event. But I thought the issue was pretty good as someone who hasn't read Thor since issue 1. It didn't convince me to read issue 7. I'm not that invested, but I'm glad I read it to know what happened and be like, oh, cool, that's happening. But still not a fan of the Galactus stuff.
This issue was, for me, it was such a huge payoff to this arc. I mean, the build-up was good, right? Like I enjoyed this volume of Thor, but at the same time, it's like if we hadn't gotten something this big, I'd have been like, okay, it's another Thor story, you know, good or not, right? But this was just like next level. It was like, oh my god, he just freaking killed the Galactus. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, the power that it takes to do that, and just being able to like, I took all your power, you know, you're nothing. You know, once I knew that, you know, you just got, you kind of got your power from somebody else, you know, it's like, you know, it can come and go. You know, you figured out Galactus' secret and used it against him. It was just like, whoa, this was very clever writing and just beautiful storytelling, and the art was gorgeous. And the future of Thor, you know, remains to be dark. It just keeps getting darker and darker for this guy. It's like, when is he going to get a break? He's got all this power, and he's still just going to die in this event coming up. And it's just like, man, this guy's life is tragic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he withholds the information to Silver Surfer Black.
Yeah.
You know? So he doesn't tell him. And Silver Surfer knows that there's something up, but he just doesn't want to tell him right now. And so now you get the story of why the hammer is so heavy in his hands, because he's got to deal with this whole situation. Great story. I tell you, man, I my hat's off to Donny Cates to just bring in some next level shit when it comes to the character. And, you know, I get a lot of people, you know, saying there were discussions out there just going, how can you kill Galactus? This is cheap ass writing. We've seen Thanos before. You know, we've done all the. It's like, okay, like, yes, we've seen him before, right? Mm-hmm. But who doesn't like the character, right? Everyone likes the character. And just because you saw him in a movie, it doesn't mean we've seen a ton of them in the comic books. And I've made it a point too. Just because you've seen him, or if I've seen him, you've seen him, doesn't mean that younger generations have seen the character or read recent stories of the character. Again, this could be someone's introduction to Thor, and to them, they might be like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. So just because you've seen it all before doesn't mean the next person is going to hate it too. You know,
it doesn't mean they're not doing something different,
right?
Because he has Thor's hammer. It's not the gauntlet anymore. It's something bigger than that.
Right. You look at that one page and you're like, "Oh, it's all about him." No, it's not about that. It's the journey to get to that point is what he's going to write.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just doing something different with Galactus was clever in and of itself, like revealing that he's been the herald of this other entity this whole time. You know, that's why he did it himself. Like, he learned from his master or whatever. It was just like nobody's ever taken the concept of Galactus and done something completely different with him, and I think we saw that in this book.
Right. And remember, this is comic books, so some way, somehow, Galactus will return.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. You can't not have him in the Marvel Universe. So, all right. Good Thor discussion. So now we're going to talk about our number 5s. And so let's see, I'll start off with, Chris left.
No, I'm right here.
No, okay.
My TV.
All right. Well, Chris, what's your number 5 book this week?
Star Wars Bounty Hunters issue number 4. I really like this one. I like that we finally got the backstory on why, I forgot what her name is, ended up betraying the team on their bounty. And it turns out that she was protecting her target, which was a pregnant woman who was being targeted because she was pregnant with their client's baby, who he didn't want his family to know. So that's why she ended up betraying the team, killing their client instead of their target, and ended up going into hiding. And it was a lot of just catching Valen up with what happened. And then now you find out that she's dying. That's why she came out of hiding. And Boba Fett actually shows up at the very end of the book. And that's why the next issue says Boba Fett, enough said. So it's going to be interesting to see if Boba Fett kills everyone or what his plan is with this book and where it's going. I don't know. There's no indication this is a mini series, so I don't know if we're going to keep moving with balance after this arc is done.
Interesting. I didn't get a chance to read this one.
I think I'm the only one that's reading it though, other than you, Mike. So
yeah,
gotcha.
I fell off of it. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay, I didn't know, Brant.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to Catherine. What is your number 5?
Mine is Batman. We already talked about it.
Batman. I am vengeance. That's what he says in the trailer.
It's a
Brand.
beautiful trailer.
Yeah,
Mine
that's right.
was-
Brent didn't hear the sound, so he wouldn't
No,
know.
I wouldn't know. Mine is actually Justice League number 51. It's the first issue of the new writer, and I thought it was a really
Again?
solid opening. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
on
again,
like
it's-
2 issues too.
I know, but
yeah.
but the story was good. It was. I mean, they're dealing with the Black Mercy, but it's like they're in space and they get detoured somehow, and they don't know why they ended up where they're at, and each character like goes through this little journey where something is speaking in narration, and it's like speaking to each one of their individual situations and kind of tapping into what makes them and stuff, and ultimately you get that it's the Black Mercy that has kind of weeded its way into them again, and now it's got them prisoner in this big giant tree, but then it becomes a person, and it's an actual person that Batman interacts with. So it's kind of an interesting twist on that, and I thought it was a really good issue.
This just fell out of my top 5. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm not buying. I heard the story was good, but I'm not buying Justice League until we get a flippin' creative team that's going to stay on the book more than 2 flippin' issues.
It's gonna be a while.
I get
Because you
that.
have Williamson that's doing the Death Metal arc, and that's 5 issues. And I don't know if he's like the official writer or whatever. We won't know until they solicit more issues.
Yeah, that's a shame. A book like that needs a steady writer
obviously
for
skip that
sure.
part.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I just love how DC Comics loves to keep pounding in our heads that Superman went public with his identity. Thank you.
Let's see how Chris feels about that. Still.
Just that part. I wish they'd stop pounding that in our heads. We know it. Thank you. We know.
All right. So my number 5 went to Maestro issue 1. So we wind up getting to see how Hulk is, I guess, born into this world. And I thought it was actually kind of cool that somehow he was taken deep underground because the Earth was getting ready to get destroyed. It kind of experienced a Terminator effect, right? It was a World War III and everyone got, destroyed. And then he comes across a old man MODOK, and it's just like he's got his beard and he's got his hair, and he basically just finds out the truth that everyone in his life is basically dead. And MODOK gives him the truth, and he kind of turns the Hollywood sign into a Hulk sign, and he takes off. And so I thought it was a good introduction to this particular story. So I liked it.
I thought it was
liked the artwork
excellent.
too.
I thought it was excellent. Perfect issue.
It's cool. So good stuff. All right, so that's it for number 5s, right? Michael didn't have a number 5, so we're going to start now talking about next book, which is A Man Among Ye. This is issue 2. I read the first issue. I did not read the second one this time around. I just didn't warrant a second pickup.
They
So
tried to
what's it?
kill Anne. They tried to kill Anne in this one. She ended up defending the boy who turned out to be a girl at the end of the last issue.
Mary.
And they ended up coming to port, long story short, because there was a fight about the whole situation. And she gets poisoned. The girl who she saved her, but it turns out that she was double-crossed by her crew and her captain, and they were leaving. She goes and tries to steal a ship and bumps into an all-female crew, to be continued.
Yeah.
That's
She
the
wasn't-
short of it.
She wasn't betrayed by the captain. She was trying to save the captain. They were trying to do a mutiny. So they were
Right.
getting her out of
She
the
was
way to
betrayed
kill
by
the
the crew.
captain. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't know that. She was yelling at the captain also. Because she
No.
thought that she said Jack. Wasn't that the captain?
Yeah, I think she was yelling because she knows he's in trouble.
Oh, okay.
That's what
thought
I
that
got
she-
from it anyway.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be either or.
Yeah.
You're right. It could be that. I know that
Yeah.
the crew was going to mutiny. I remember that. It's
Yeah.
just-
I didn't love this issue as much as I don't know. It's kind of
more dialogue. It was more talking than
Well-
anything else, really.
yeah, and I mean I like that we kind of learned a little bit more about the story, and we get to see some of the other pirates. Pirates were getting hanged by the Navy and everything and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I don't know. It just it didn't
Does it
grab
really
me as
capture your attention to keep going with it?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it could be a little stronger. And there's some good concepts here. I love the ending with the all female crew because she tries to steal a boat that they had already stolen and that kind of thing. But I don't know. It's not quite doing it for me.
I'll give it the first arc if it doesn't do, but it's been doing fine for me. I forgot about the Navy stuff too. You just mentioned it now, Brent. So yeah, that stuff is definitely very weak for the story for me because that stuff I forgot about already, and I read the book not 3 days ago. So yeah, no, I agree. If the first arc doesn't captivate me by the end of the whole setup, then yeah, I'll probably end up letting it go.
All right. So now we're going to move on to our number 4 book because we already talked about Justice League. So, and I'm going to hand it over to Mike now because he has a number 4. So, Michael, what's your number 4?
My number 4 book is a book I want to try. Power Rangers Draken New Dawn, issue number 1.
Holy crap. He actually read a Power Ranger book, and that is my number 4 as well.
Go Power Rangers.
Yeah, see, there we go. So
did all you guys read this book?
I did. I told Brent not to because it's not the same writer as what he's saying.
Oh, so you didn't, Trey?
I didn't because she told me not to.
Well, I like it.
I mean, so you go, Michael. Sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that it is a very different vibe from what we usually get from Power Rangers of that writer. It felt very different. I honestly didn't love the issue, but
I liked it. I want to know who the prisoner is.
Well, yeah, and also I liked how it dove into it's focused more on Kim's point of view of her saying that, she's not like Draken, like she's trying to prove that from the other volumes of what happened there. But I also like how when they found the prisoners, they were thinking that the people who were trying to save them worked for Draken because we all know that Draken's dead and all that stuff. And there's one of Draken's victims that was there that Kim went to go save. And during that mission, they were talking to him about he basically said what happened in the past of how he was a victim of Draken. And there was a whole big thing that went on. I mean, it was a little bit of dialogue heavy, I will say that. It's morphin' time. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it was dialogue heavy, but I thought it was a good issue for New Dawn.
I thought it was okay. I felt like there was more of emotional resonance for the one shot we got with Kimberly and just stuff we've gone with the character in the past. Also, I think her mission to release every prisoner, well, how about the ones that aren't so great? What's her plan for that? I don't know if she has a true. I think she's trying too hard to be nice. That she's not being a great leader, in my opinion.
That threw me off too. It was I'm freeing you. Just accept it, and that's that. You don't get to ask any questions. I'm here.
She's freeing people. She doesn't even know who they are, and obviously it's understandable with Draken captured them, so they're probably being captured because of Draken. But yeah, I don't really understand the system there. I was interested in a new Ranger. We'll see who he is. It's a 3-issue arc. I also thought the artwork wasn't really good for this book. I really didn't enjoy it as much. I thought it was a little messy. But yeah, it was an okay issue for me.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
That's it for Power Rangers. All right.
Yep.
Sweet. All right. So we're going to go on to Brant's number 4.
Mine is Spider-Man. Not Spider-Man. Spider-Woman number 3. Sorry. Lots of reveals in this issue. It was
oh my god! Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
you find out. Yeah, you find out Jessica's got a brother, and it's this guy that's been kind of yanking her around, and having her do his bidding, kind of trying to save his daughter and everything. Who ends up being her niece, and then she's reunited with her mom, and it's just one right after the other, and it's just her world just got turned completely upside down, and it kind of makes the rest of the arc make a little bit more sense now, and how much this girl idolized Jessica because she knew that hey, that's my cool aunt. So it's kind of cool, and it's an area that we haven't explored with Jessica for quite some time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes from here.
we never knew that she had a brother, right?
Never.
No.
This is the first time. And then we haven't seen the mother or the father, I would say, since like maybe Brian Michael Bendis' Spider-Woman. And that was the origin story. Like we've never seen like a current story with them. And I really like this issue. I wasn't a huge fan of issue 2, and I was like a little worried it was slipping. And then
Me too.
And I was like, oh, never mind. This is as good as that first issue.
Well,
it's even better in some ways.
This was like one of my last books to read. And when we did panels of the week and I saw both you guys put it on there, and I'm like, so obviously that part spoiled it for me, but I was like, whoa, wait, what? I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So right away I pulled out the issue and I read it, and I'm just like, wow, I did not expect that whatsoever.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
That's a big deal. And see, nobody talked about it, right? I mean, Jessica Drew has a brother. It's just like and he has powers.
Yeah, he has powers too. Yeah, that I forgot about that part. But it's like Jessica's such a, I mean, she's got her friend group, but she's such an independent person. She's kind of a loner in a way, and now she's got this whole family surrounding her. It's going to be an interesting dynamic for her, especially when she's like, yeah, I got this kid, and then you bring the kid into the mix with the whole family thing going on, and you got to find what the family's deal is, because obviously there's something going on there. So and then
obviously Jessica Drew's son, what's his name? Jerry? Is it Jerry?
Jerry,
yeah. He's got powers already because you've seen him climbing up walls upside down.
Jerry Bear.
So that's some crazy stuff. I'm really curious now to see the direction of this book. It's got me hooked based off of this.
Right.
I still have to finish reading it. That's why I have nothing to do after that.
I was like you, Kat. I'll be after that second issue, but this one, All
right. So, Kat, what's your number 4?
Dead Day. We already talked about it.
All right. Perfect. And Chris's was
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. All right. Cool. Let's see. And then my number 4 was Dead Day. So right there, right in that area there. So cool stuff. All right. So let's move on. Let's talk about our next books. And this one is going to be Wolverine. This is issue 4. Who read Wolverine here?
I haven't had a chance to read it yet.
Oh, only you, Mike. Then.
All right. So we'll talk about Wolverine. So we finally get Omega Red, makes his appearance in here, right? He does. Wolverine is kind of just. He's always been this loner, and to get away from Krakoa, he's got to get he wants to get away, and so he's been going to this bar, and people have been watching him at this bar, and basically, make a long story short, they kidnap him, they tie him up and everything, and they can't kill him because they know that he could get resurrected. So what are they going to do? They're just going to put him on ice. So they put him in this chair and they're going to freeze him, so he's on ice. But then all of a sudden you see Omega Red make his appearance, and he just uses his little technicals, and he just like starts killing everybody. And he goes up to Wolverine, and it looks like that you think that he's going to kill Wolverine, but I have a feeling that those two are going to team up. So it looks quite interesting. And so for the first time since Wolverine has come out, I'm actually interested in the series. It took 4 issues to get there. I was really on the fence about it. But now this makes me want to continue the series right now. And the artwork was pretty good in this one too. So that is the Wolverine discussion. Really intense. Nice talking about it. And we'll just jump on to that number 3 book. And so number 3, Chris, are you there?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix something. My TV had a bug on it, and I had to refix the internet on it. And it's
Chris is trying to watch TV as we do a podcast.
No, he's trying to play video games while we're doing a podcast.
Dead Day issue number 2 is my number 3. No, my TV popped on its own, and it just bugged out completely. I have what do you call it? The TCL one that connects to the internet, and it's like, you have nothing on your TV. I'm like, what?
Strange.
What was your number 3? You said it so fast I didn't catch it. Dead Day.
Dead Days 2.
Oh, okay. All right, Kat, what's yours?
Mine's Thor. I already talked about it.
All right. Mr. Fowler.
Mine is actually Nightwing. number 73.
You liked it that much?
I really enjoyed the issue. Yeah,
Like,
and it's
I liked it. It
Yeah.
wasn't in my top 5.
I mean, I haven't read it for a long time, so I just, because of the tie-in, I wanted to read this issue, and I enjoyed the stuff with Dick and Barbara. I mean, that was like the bulk
Sure.
of the issue, but I mean, that's what I enjoyed about it. And it's like, you know, she's trying to get through to him, and she thinks she gets through to him, and really he's kind of, you know, fooled her even, and now he's cornered the rest of the Robins as well, and he's kind of leading them all into a trap. And I thought that was really interesting. And then you got Punchline going after this a monument to Alfred and going to blow that up. So they're just like causing all this kind of chaos, and just the discussion and interaction and fight between Dick and Barbara was enough, you know, to sway me over for this issue too.
I liked the fight, but I thought the fight was a little bit drawn out.
Okay.
And then just me having an issue, like last issue, she got her legs sliced open so bad it was like she couldn't even walk. And here she's already fighting. And again, I have this whole, I don't know, this time frame issue of when this one takes place compared to her own book. So I have that kind of issue. But I love the ending of it, how Dick is just like, hey, Jason, and who was it? Was it Damien out there or Tim?
Tim,
Tim, and he's just like, oh, come on, like Barbara's gone off the hinge, and let's come with us. So he's got them fooled, and I like the end of that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you not read this, Kat?
Nope, didn't read this one.
I love how Joker is the one that kind of been manipulating now the Robins and Red Hood through Dick. I don't know. I feel like, how are they going to reach into Dick and get him to realize who he is?
It's got to be that stone. Somehow they got to get that stone back and re-manipulate him back to the way he was.
I think something happened where he's going to break the control of the stone on his own. It's just, I wonder what's going to trigger Dick into realizing who he really is, you know?
Yeah. I like that, like all his memories are twisted. Like he was remembering his parents as these abusive drunks and all this stuff. It's just crazy the number that's been done on him.
We do have a comment from the Black Knight. Do you guys like Valiant? I just got Ray issue 6.
I do.
Michael likes Valiant. I think Brant reads some Valiant. I love the company. I personally don't have any Valiant books on my pull right now.
Exo Man of War's coming back.
Oh yeah, coming back.
I'll be trying that one. Yeah, I read here and there. I fell off a few series, but yeah, especially like when Faith comes out, I read every single volume of Faith.
All right, so we talked about that. That was Brant's number 3. So Michael, we're gonna go on to your number 3 now.
All right, Conan: Battle for the Serpent Crown, issue number 4. So since Champion got the Serpent scepter and brought it to what was his name, Mephisto, from that point, we now have a mission. He now has a mission for him to go get the Serpent Crown, because that could bring like ultimate power and whatnot. So in this issue, and I thought of Kat when I read this part, he actually meets up with Namor in this issue, Conan.
Oh,
because they.
I'm not reading it.
That's Cat's favorite book right there.
Namor. That's
I'm just saying, because I remember how she would talk about him and stuff. But yeah, but Neela and Conan, they go underwater to find where the Serpent Crown is before Champion would get to it. And actually, Champion did get to it, and we see the power that it can, how really overly powerful this can be for Champion to use against them. And it turned, Conan and Namor to fight each other for a brief scene, and then he basically got away. As I'm leaving a lot of stuff out because I want you guys to definitely read it. He just takes it to Mephisto, and that's where it was to be concluded. So that's right there, and that's a pretty good issue to be continued. I really enjoyed this issue of Conan.
Cool, awesome. All right, so and then my number 3 was a book, yes, we already talked about, Spider-Woman issue 3. So boom, there goes that. All right. So let's move on. So we're going to talk about, we talked about Nightwing. We're going to talk about Transformers versus Terminator issue 3. Who read that? I read it. Who else read it? Brant?
I did not.
I did not get a chance to read this one.
I didn't get a chance to read it.
So once again, I am the only one because Brant was supposed to read it and he didn't read it.
I know. I didn't love last issue though.
Okay, so I'm not going to give away a lot, but not a lot did happen in this book.
So there's nothing to give away.
Yeah. You see a big attack. There's a lot more Transformers in this. And there's a lot more dialogue heavy stuff in here too. Typical almost Transformer style. The one thing though that this book had, and I think it tried a little too hard, was it had a lot of lines from the Transformers animated movie. So it's like,
Okay.
one shall stand and one shall fall. All we're going to need is a lot of energon and a lot of hope. So there was a lot of movie lines in this particular book, which was cool, but it's like, I don't think it really fits, when it comes to a crossover between these two properties. So It was cool. It wasn't the best issue, but it was there, and it still warrants continued reading. It was there. Sarah is just teaming up with Bumblebee, so she's kind of like she's like Spike in this world. So it was all right. It had its moments.
I see. That's the way I felt about last issue. It was there. It bums me out because that first issue was phenomenal. It was so good, and it's just like I almost wish it was like a one shot, just so I could just keep that feeling. But I'll eventually read it.
Right. I mean, the Insecticons were in here, and the dialogue was good with them. It kind of reminded you of the cartoon. He's like, "Oh, we need energon." You know how they have that.
Right?
Yeah, the echo to them, and it's just like they hit all those notes, but it just the story just kind of lacks a little bit.
You gotta be reading My Little Ponies versus Transformers.
No. My gosh, I actually looked at that book on the stands just to see what it would look like. The artwork is just, it's not what you would want to see in a Transformers book. Let's just keep it that way. It's more like an artwork you would want to see in a My Little Pony book. So that's the way it looked there.
I'm sure it's doing its best. We do have a question. Zombie X stands. Gideon Falls, anybody? I've never read an issue of Gideon Falls.
The series is ending, and I read the first volume of it during the beginning of COVID, and it is phenomenal. It's phenomenal read. I just never got around to buying the rest of the trades, so I'll get there eventually to finish it. Huh?
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat as you. I read the first volume.
Right.
I only read the first issue. But
okay.
I don't even think I read the first issue, which is weird because I feel like I usually do read.
You wouldn't read it. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it because it's got Andrea Sorrentino's
That's
artwork.
probably why I didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
I usually pick up Jeff Lemire. That's why I was like, oh, why didn't I pick that up? Probably.
Yeah. But his artwork fits that book because it's got that creepy, dark, eerie tone to it. So it really fits it.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about Transformers versus Terminator. So we're going to go on to our number 2. And let's see. We'll start off with Kat this time. What is your number 2?
Mine's Captain Marvel, issue 20.
Mine too.
Mine too.
There we go.
Wow.
I love this book. This arc has been so freaking good. And I love her sister to pieces. Every scene she's in. And it proves, like, if you guys look at our panels this week, we all picked Captain Marvel panels, and they were all different panels of Carol's sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I loved her. But I also like the other stuff too. I like the Carol Core team up. Overall, like I said, really liking this arc. It's the best thing for me that's come out of Empire.
Yeah, no, it's just really fun. That's the thing I can say about this book, this arc in particular. Just the whole thing with her sister, and like Spider-Woman and Hazmat just kind of fawning over her, for various reasons. Yeah, it's like they love her arms, they love, they're connecting over the flowers and all kinds of stuff, and it's just fun. I love this art. So
yeah, it's a great book, great overall story. They do the battle against the person who they thought was the person responsible. He was accused, and it's kind of cool to see how they all share the power with each other as well.
I love Teddy's reaction to that too.
Oh yeah. He's just like,
you undersold it, Carol.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's a very lighthearted story in a very dark time when it comes to this book. And I know people don't like Empire and people kind of wrote it off. But again, there's a lot of things that have gone on in this event that has set new status quos. And I think that this happening to Carol is a huge deal. And I think if anything comes out of Empire, and if this stays, I think I think her having this is a pretty cool thing. I really do.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Totally.
So again, Empire, take it or leave it for what it is. I like it. And we're going to see what happens, when that comes out soon, and some of these other characters too. So, but great book. So that was my number 2. That's Kat's number 2. That's Brant's number 2. And we're going to go with Chris's number 2.
G.I. Joe number 7. We already talked about it.
Yo, Joe. And Michael's number 2.
Teen Titans.
Yep. Teen Titans issue number 44 actually came out this week. I like how
coming out any sooner after November it gets canceled, sadly.
I know, I'm just reading just to see how everything goes. But as I like how when the team was figuring out about how he killed Brother Blood and everything, and there's he's telling his team that they were not ready for what they were going up against, and then he just said goodbye as of that. Then we have Gizmo and the gang that make a plan on killing the Titans, the Teen Titans, and getting the job done in a right way. So that was a little bit of a scene that we had that. And we have Deathstroke, who joins their team as well. So that was a huge return. When I saw that, I was that blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Blew his mind.
I'm interested to see Amiko's reaction to Deathstroke, obviously, because it's a big thing. I have not liked this arc, honestly. I just feel like it's something we've seen already. It's really being prolonged. Even the Batman stuff. Oh, you're fired, pretty much. It's we've seen this before. There was just no new information for me in this one. I really feel like it lost steam, maybe because of the cancellation.
Well, I was just saying that as they were going for a search of Robin or everything, because they were concerned about him. They just want to bring him to justice after the murder. And then Batman just shows up and just says, Teen Titans are finished. And then that's where it led off to be continued. But that was a great issue nonetheless, I thought.
Well, Miko finds out that Flash, the Flash has a thing for her.
That was one of the best works for me.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to, Kat not liking this issue as much, I can definitely understand that, because we're getting we have a different creative team on the book. And so, like Kat said, maybe they already got the word that this book was going to be canceled. So finish it up, write that last story arc. And so I felt that this was kind of this was outside my top 5. And I felt like this book was kind of like the runaround, Damian leaving, then coming back, then leaving again. Oh, let's search for him. Let's find him. And it's just it was very repetitive. And then, so we're trying to get to the point to where we get to that annual. And that's where they're going with that's where the story continues, is in the annual. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just sad that the story is going, because I felt like maybe they had a plan for it, and it's just we're going to wrap it up now.
Yeah, I agree. This was such a solid team. I'm kind of sad to see it go this way, but I agree. It was kind of like a stretch it out issue. Just kind of trying to get to the next thing. But there were some good parts in it. But like you guys, it was just outside of my top 5, so it was a little bit lower for me this time.
All right. So that was
Number 2s.
Number 2s, right? All right. So we're just gonna jump into number 1. So my number 1 was Batman issue 97. Chris, you're number 1.
Hotel number 4.
Nice. Kat, yours.
Spider-Woman issue 3.
Nice. Brant.
Thor number 6.
Sweet. Michael.
Sonic the Hedgehog, issue 30.
All right. Sounds good. And you know what? Thor would actually be, I got to push everything back. Thor would be my number 1 book. I wondered why it's not here. My son, I told you he read issues 1 through 6, so he has it in his room.
I was wondering why it was in number 1.
Yeah.
I really like Batman.
So everything is pushed back 1. So number 1 is Thor. Number 2 is
Or
Batman.
Captain Marvel. Again,
Captain
number
Marvel's number 3. Yeah. So we get pushed back there. So all right, that's all right. It's all good. So that's it. That's all for the top 5.
So
So I handed to Chris to the chop.
the chop block. Who has a chop? So I know who to ask.
Seems like there's a couple of people.
All right, so a couple. Okay, so Brant and Michael. Brant, what are you chopping?
I got 2 half chops. One of them I kind of already talked about, which is A Man Among Ye. Just not grabbing me. I don't know that I'm going to pick up the next issue. Depends on the week. And Cable. Actually, I did not feel this issue. I'm
So strange. I feel like issue 1 was bad, issue 2 was good, and then issue 3 was bad. So it's just like the odd numbers.
I-
Very good.
I'm with you on Cable being a half chop, kinda. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go another issue before I determine a half chop.
I
role.
gotta see
Yeah.
how this romance is going.
Exactly. That's
I
what
dropped
told
you.
me. Told me, and then also in X-Force, we know that one of the Cuckoos is in love with Quentin Quire, so it's like,
Right.
Yeah, we had that conversation last week.
And then you
Yeah.
have Swords coming out, so what's the point of dropping an X-Men book? Because you're gonna have to read it.
That's true.
for
That's
Right.
true.
exactly another
That's
reason why
true.
I'm waiting. Exactly.
Yeah. So
So, Mike, what are you chopping?
I'm chopping actually Killing Red Sonja issue number 3. I'm done. I cannot. The art is one thing, but the story, it just talked about killing birds that come down and swoop down and kill people, and it doesn't have anything with like Sonja in it. I can't take this issue, so I'm definitely full chopping that. Done.
So, Brent, what were you trying to say? I'm sorry. I think I cut you off, Mike.
no, I was done. That's fine.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something, then I called Mike. So that's the chop block. I'm going to be moving over to Brant now.
We
For
do
some
have
key
a
issues.
question from Justin first, just
Okay,
to
go
answer
for it.
it. Have you read East of West? I've not.
think-
I read a lot
Yeah,
of
Mike
it.
did,
Yeah,
Same.
I read a lot of it, and I thought it was good, but I think I got lost in the mix of just reading other books, and then I kind of fell off of it because Hickman's writing is always, you need your own separate time to, dedicate to read his stuff, and it's just one of those books that just got kind of pushed to the side, and I just fell off of it.
I think I only read the first issue when it came out like 5 years ago. And that's about it.
It's probably been longer than that already.
Yeah, I think it's been
Which is
longer
crazy
than
because I know we definitely have reviewed it for this show, and it shows how long the show's been going. East to West
Yeah,
comic issue 1. Let's see when it came out.
maybe 2014,
2013.
13.
Yeah.
That's
God.
Damn.
Right when
That's
we
how long
we
we've been talking
started,
about
yeah.
comics for?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's crazy.
Jeez. Anyway, going back to most anticipated, basically, books that are coming out, well, today and tomorrow. We got a few books to talk about. Let's see. We'll start with the one everybody's talking about, Batman 3 Jokers, #1, which Kat has already read.
I have read it. I'm really excited to talk about it with everybody.
Yeah.
My only will be I literally posted 2 articles about it today, and I'd like you guys to read it. So read it.
yeah, I'm definitely going to read it. I've been anticipating this one for a while.
Yeah, I think everybody has, because this has been in the works for years, and it's finally like coming out. So again, Jeff Johns, who is it? Fabic's on the artwork. Like, his artwork is so good. I loved his artwork in Justice League, and I just can't wait to see it here.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And it's double size. It's 3 issues. Looks like it's going to be a beginning, middle, and end, which is always good with these books because sometimes they go on forever. It'd be like, but this cliffhanger. So it's nice that it's just one story.
Yep.
Yeah, and we also got the second issue of Chew coming out.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I like the first issue. I like the cliffhanger of it. I thought it was fun.
Oh, you did read the first one?
Yeah, because it was new reader friendly. So I was like, let me pick it up. And I liked it. Good.
It'll be interesting to see the interaction with his sister, and because she's the bad guy and he's the good guy, and they go to the house at the end and they meet for family dinner. I think that's pretty cool, man. This book definitely has potential, and I forgot the artist who was on it, but the artwork is really good on it as well.
It's the original Chew.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not Rob Gallery, because he's doing
Farmhands, but I thought
he's doing Farmhand, so he's not doing it.
Oh,
so it's a different artist. I forgot the artist's name on there, but he picked the artist because it has his distinctive style that kind of fits Chew, so that's why he picked the artist on there.
Dan Boltwood.
Yeah, art's pretty cool, man. I love the cover. I think the next cover looks pretty cool too.
Yeah. All right. Somebody mentioned in the comments, I think you guys showed a Daredevil Annual, so that is definitely coming out, and I know a couple of you are really excited about that.
Absolutely. Don't know what the annual is actually going to be about, but anything that's on Daredevil, I'm like on board with.
Oh, I can't wait. One more day. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Daredevil.
Let's see. We got Michael will be happy about this one, maybe. Mega Man Fully Charged #1, the first Mega Man from Boom Studios.
Ah, yes, that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to reading. That
I might actually pick that up if they have a copy on the stands when I go to the store. I might check it out for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I enjoyed some of the Archie run, so
awesome.
I want to see what Boom does with it. Yeah. We got Suicide Squad #8. That's another book that's ending soon. So
I also had to read this for work, so I cannot talk about it.
It's so painful to hear that book is ending. I'm so sad about it. Last issue was so good. Meeting his daughter and everything, and it's like, for what? For what reason now? It's like, God, we'll never really know, I don't think.
Yeah. It sucks. It sucks, all these books we like. Well, we talked about that before.
I have a feeling they're gonna take a few of these to digital first, like Titans, and even maybe this. I think I'm wondering if that's why they're canceling physical, so they can reboot it as a digital first.
I think with a new creative team, if that's gonna happen, though.
Sadly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah. So we got another Lock and Key. I'm assuming it's a one shot. They've done a couple of these. Lock and Key.
I think it's a 3-part miniseries.
Oh, 3-part. Okay.
Yeah, it takes place. Okay.
Okay. I was just gonna get the title out. Lock and Key, Impel Battalions Go #1. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna take place in the past before the original story. I'm definitely gonna be reading it.
I think the last one took place in the past too. But go ahead, Mike.
All the one shots and the minis take place before the original, because the original kind of ended the house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm picking it up too. I just wanted to make sure like Joe Hill was writing it. So because if he wasn't writing it, I wasn't going to pick it up. So when I saw he was writing it, I was like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple of Joker War titles. We got Detective Comics 1026. Anybody picking that up?
I'll be reading it.
Yeah,
I will too. Yeah, I'm picking it up.
I know you said the last issue was good, Mike. Right?
Yeah,
I think you're telling us about that one. Yeah, so I might give it a shot. And we got Batgirl number 48, which I've not been reading, but this story, The Last Joke, Part 1, which kind of dives into those dark times with her family. I'm kind of interested about in that, so I might pick that one up as well.
I liked the last issue. I thought it was good. So it's ending. Another book that's ending. So why not finish it off?
Right.
Yeah, I've been in. I thought it ended really well. The last issue we got to see the Joker and Batgirl battle it out, and they both pretty much stab each other, and they're laughing on the ground. So it kind of ended in a easy place.
Interesting. Yeah. Cool. And let's see. I think we only got one more to talk about. Yeah. No, two more. We got X-Men number 11, which is an Empire tie-in. The description for this one kind of grabbed me. It said the trees are killing the children. So I want to see what exactly they're talking about.
Killing the children. Now we know what it is. It's always been the trees. So James Tynion's book is actually revealed in X-Men.
Yeah.
So the last issue was the one when they were on the moon and they had drinks, and so how does this? A completely different issue? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming like I don't know. I don't know. Like maybe it ties into the rebirth. Yeah, you know, because Krakoa is a planet. I mean, not a plant-based thing, a plant-based area. And
well, remember at the end of the last issue, the soldier said, the one thing he mentioned before he died was Krakoa. So maybe now that they find out what Krakoa is and they actually go there. Yeah,
exactly. So, it'd be interesting.
I've not been reading Empire. I lost interest with issue 2, so I was like, all the tie-ins mean nothing to me.
I've been enjoying the tie-ins.
And I've been enjoying the event. And Brant's been enjoying the event.
I have indeed. So last book we have to talk about then is Amazing Spider-Man number 47 as the Sin Eater arc continues.
I love the premise of the.
I love how Brant was going to Sin Eater arc.
Because that's what it is. The solicit said, "Oh man, get excited for next issue. Get excited for issue 50." Pretty much that's the solicit.
Can we get the reveal of Kindred already?
We're not getting in this issue.
No.
It's not going to be this issue. It's not going to be the next issue. It's not going to be
issue 100.
It's not going to be till after the Goblin, because Green Goblin returns soon too.
This is not a way to do a character like Kindred.
No.
So then just say it's Green Goblin Kindred. I don't know.
Green Goblin's definitely not Kindred, but that's the one person we know. They interacted already. So Norman and Kindred, they interacted 10 issues ago. But I'm not excited for this issue. I love my Spidey, but I really do not like this arc.
Yeah, I don't either.
I would say have an idea of what's going on in Empire so you're not completely lost.
Yeah. That.
And then that.
Oops, sorry. Go ahead. Were you gonna do that?
I haven't been reading Empire.
I haven't been reading Avengers because of Empire.
I haven't been reading Avengers at all. So.
Yeah, I'm not reading Avengers either.
We didn't like it.
Okay, so that's all for key issues this week. Guess we're closing now.
Close now.
It's so enthusiastic.
Tell
It's like,
well, nobody else will say anything. So. Oh,
goes off. Anyway, does anybody have anything they'd like to talk about before we end the show? Because I know
you do.
I do. Yes, we do. So does anybody else have anything they'd like to talk about before that?
Nope.
Okay. So Celestial Falcon issue number 2 is coming to Kickstarter next week. Brant's been sharing the link in chat. We're super excited about that. I already made a post on shootingstaruniverse.com. Go check it out. Talking about all the stuff we are going to be doing all month long for Celestial Falcon issue number 2. I'm super excited because if you've seen any of the pictures that we've been sharing, the secrets are revealed. Hidden things are now revealed. We've got a gigantic shark issue. So if you have a bat utility belt, get your shark repellent. And we've there's so much that's going to happen in this issue, and I'm really excited to start talking about it. Brand, I think, did you share the link again, or did my chat?
That was the
No, that was panels.
So you can follow the Kickstarter.
I don't have the link, or else I would share it.
It's celestialfalcon.com/KS2. That'll take you right there.
Or you can check out the article on shootingstaruniverse.com. Links are in all of the images.
There's the link. There you go. You guys have 29 followers. Follow that link.
Yeah, I'd love to get to 30 tonight. So if anybody, just one person, go follow.
Follow, so we can get to 30. That's Brand's goal.
Then you'll get notified when we launch. And I got to mention this variant cover we have coming. Linnea Papercat, she's been working on it and been tweeting about it. She's having fun with the shark. She actually changed the entire pose of Celestial Falcon on it the other day. It was like, I like this one better. It's more dynamic. And we were like, yeah. So go with that. And so it's been a really cool process. Yeah,
I want to share it, but I want to wait for her to finalize the new Celestial Falcon pose. Because I shared the first version, but now she did stuff with the shark. It looks amazing. And I want her to get the new pose. She wanted to make sure we like the new pose first. We do. So she's finalize it, and then I'll be sharing that picture as well. I'm super excited.
I just love how into it she is too, because she was like messaging me and she was like, do you mind if I add some character traits on the shark, like some scars and some different things? She's getting really into it. It was cool. But
I do want to throw out a little PSA about the shark, because I've been thinking about it. There's always this really negative stigmatism with sharks, especially after Jaws. I have an article I'm working on talking about the shark, and it's definitely going to lead into a short story either during the Kickstarter campaign or right after. There is more to the shark than everyone knows, and it's not an evil shark. I want to throw that out there now.
Don't say that. It's chasing the
it's not evil. It's chasing. There's a reason why. There's a reason why it's chasing in the issue, and you'll find that out in the comic. That's why you probably won't see the follow-up story until after the Kickstarter, but there is a really hefty reason why that shark is
back up the Kickstarter, get that cover, find out all about the sharks.
Support sharks.
All the covers are amazing.
Sharks are wonderful creatures.
We got the first pass at the two main colors today too, so we're excited. We got the letters in this week too. I mean, everything is just.
It looks so beautiful. Great. You got to back this book. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love this issue more than issue 1, and it's just gonna keep building as we continue forward. So get your hands on issue number 2. It's gonna be very, very important. So with that is all we have for tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful week. A happy new comic book day. Tomorrow we'll be back next week with another episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Click the notification bell, follow Comic Frontline as well as all of us at our social medias. Give this video a thumbs up on both channels, both Comic Corner 2.0 and Comic Frontline on YouTube. And we will see you all in the next one. So have a great night, everybody.
Good night, guys.